I'm Rachel, and it is just past midnight on November 1st, so we are at the very beginning of NaNoWriMo 2019. So I'm standing here in front of my bookcases to start off the vlogging. Luckily, it seems like the storming outside has stopped because for the last several hours the rain and wind have been pounding. Luckily, I think it missed the Halloween trick-or-treaters by a little bit. But to start off with, I have some NaNoWriMo donation goodies, as I do every year when I donate, and it has graphics having to do with this year's theme. Here's a new sticker, and to recap something that happened last NaNoWriMo, my laptop of about 8, 9, 10 years, something like that, completely broke down and I had to get a new one in the middle of Nano. So I actually have a place to put this. And then here is the thank you bookmark, what it says on the back. The act of writing is a form of time travel because your imagination can take you anywhere. When you pick up a pen and sit down at your keyboard, you cast your story and yourself into the past, present, or future. Or some wild combination. It is your novel after all. Your donation allows hundreds of thousands of people to start up their proverbial time travel machines and see where their writing will transport them. Thank you for supporting NaNoWriMo in the past and present. And thank you for ensuring a future that may not have airships, but will definitely include a world of creators. Okay, from here I think I'm going to go ahead and slip into some PJs since it's getting late, and then maybe take you to my computer to see if I can start things up on this new NaNoWriMo site. I hope everything's working properly and I can get a few words in before going to bed. Okay, so here I am on the Maryland Rimo Discord chat page. I gotta say, I think I prefer Voxer with the booktubers. Let me move on over to NaNoWriMo. I'm on my profile page, and maybe if I refresh it, it will, say that it's the first. Okay, that's new. I guess that's where I might be able to add my number. Oop, where'd I go? Yeah, it looks like here I can add my word count in as I go for my project, A Song of the Wanderers, which is the official working title of my fantasy project. So yeah, it looks like I'm ready to go and I'm in the right time zone. So I guess I'll try to get some writing done before I go. Hello. It is still day one. I'm recently returned from work, and I'm quite naturally kneeling here right by my bed, just trying to get a shot with Missy in it. But anyway, it is time to keep writing because I only got in so much around midnight last night or this morning. So I think I'm gonna go do one of my favorite traditions, which is to listen to a write-in. And in fact, I've been starting to watch more author tubers, the community of people who write and make videos all year long, but they're especially excited at this time of year. There is a write-in happening live behind me with By the Brook, Mandy Lynn, and Natalia Lee. But I think I'm going to go back and allow myself to start at the very beginning, watch the recorded version, and get the most that I can out of this whole thing. So let's get to it.
Okay, so everybody who's here right now is the live stream to where this is going to be the first time that you guys are writing today, or have you already written something today? Like, how many words have you got if you already have written? I had woken up at 4:30 this morning to just kind of get a little bit primed for videoing.
In the morning?
Huh?
In the morning?
Yeah, and then because I wrote my everyone used to do that. I did that a lot this week actually, where I got up at 4:30 and I started writing at 5. And I'm really liking that routine. I had like not been in a routine in a long time, and so finally I'm like feeling like it's finally there. And so back to my morning writing schedule. I love it. So right now I have I think 822 words written so far.
Ooh, that's a good start.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm getting there. There's a lot of people who have already a lot today. Oh my
I know. It kind of blows my mind. I'm like, well, it's been a while since I've been alive. I forgot what this is like.
Oh my gosh, you guys are on fire. Lots of you guys like have already hit goal today.
Brooke, you never said what you're working on.
I am working on Project New Orleans, and this is like me rewriting my book because I worked on Project New Orleans last year, and I am rewriting the book because Katie's here. Katie said she'd be here. Rewriting my book so that way it's more in line with my outline and everything is correct the way I'm wanting it to be. And also I'm writing it differently this time because last time I wrote it in third person and in past tense, where now I'm in present tense and in first person, and have multiple different POVs. So lots of stuff is very different this time around, but I'm so excited about it. So bring it on.
Good morning. It is day 2 of NaNoWriMo. It is a Saturday, and I have a lot I'd like to get done this weekend. I am wrapping up critiquing a manuscript of a novel, a 350-page novel for a reader who, actually a beta reader of mine who read my novella, The Corners, a couple of months ago and gave me a lot of helpful feedback. So hopefully I can do the same for her before she has to get this manuscript off to her editor. And of course I don't want to have to finish this up any further along than this weekend because of Nano. I also have some of my own leisure reading that I want to keep up with as I can, and then of course there's Nano itself and keeping up with my 1667 words. So I was thinking I might go ahead and get up and get started with the day and head off to the localiest of my local coffee shops, the one that's just a couple steps outside my door, and see if I can get some writing done. That is the whole point of the month, after all. Good afternoon. It is day 3 of NaNoWriMo, and I'm doing one of those vloggy things where I go out into the wider writing world, because at the Writer's Center in Bethesda, Maryland, very close to me, there's going to be a quick reading from the Washington Writers Publishing House. They're a very local press, and every year they hold contests and publish just 2 books, one of fiction and one of poetry. And so now they're doing some readings about it with this year's winners. And I just felt like I wanted to go ahead and support my local publishing community and hopefully hear some good stuff. Also, this will be my first time at the Writer's Center in a while, ever since their big spiffy renovation, so I'm curious to see it. Looks like the building is very bright white and red now. It used to be more earthy, woody colors, kind of something that made me think of like a sort of a writing retreat in the middle of Bethesda. Kind of reminded me of the literary house at my college, so not sure how I feel from the outside, but I'm sure it'll look really great inside, so I'm curious. Also, in that vein, I just joined the Writer's Center, something I've been thinking about for a while, although I don't actually usually take a lot of classes there. It's been a couple years, I think, since I took my last one. But one of their perks now is that members get to use their private writing space for free. So after the reading, I'm going to go ahead and try and see if I can set myself up in a carol and get to today's word count. Good morning. It is day 4 of NaNoWriMo, and we are returning to the work week, and I am returning to work. I'm thinking I might reprise one of the other things I did last year, which is that I would just take a notebook and a pen to work rather than the heavy laptop, and just use my lunchtime to make some notes before coming back home in the evening. I'm not one of those people who generally wants to do a lot of handwriting before shifting it over to the computer, because that does take a lot of time, but I don't have a huge amount of time during work to write anyway, and I'm just not feeling dragging the laptop right now. I just finished chapter 1, in fact, and I know that starting in chapter 2, I'm going to have to introduce some new characters, and I'm thinking maybe I still need to flesh these secondary characters out a little more, so that might be something I try to do during lunch. I guess I'm also a little optimistic because, again, I stayed up past midnight and I got some of my word count for today then. Who knows, maybe I can make this a theme so that when I get home from work I don't have to worry so much about making the full 1667 before the end of the day, because I'll already be a little bit into the game. We'll see how it goes. Good evening. It is day 5 of NaNoWriMo. I recently returned from work, and already my plan of starting the day's writing at midnight hasn't worked out so well, or at least last night it didn't, and I didn't get too many words, so I have a lot more to write tonight. So I think I'm going to go to my write-in option. The NaNoWriMo YouTube hosts a lot of streamed write-ins, and the first one of the year is with the Word Nerds. They're a group of writers who did a whole lot of them in the last couple of years, although so far it seems like they're only signed up for this one that they did a couple days ago. And it's recorded now, and I figured I'll just go ahead and set it up and get some writing done. But first things first, if this cat lets me, I am sending off the manuscript to my beta readie. I hope she finds my comments to be helpful, and now I have to get back to my own writing. And secondly, I have this book package to unbox. This should be my niece's birthday gift. Very excited. Okay, that took a little bit, but here we go. This is the Princess Black series. I found them at work, actually. They came across my desk. They're like early middle grade, I guess, books of a princess who also moonlights as a superhero. And, you know, since superheroes and princesses are the big things for kids, especially for girls, I knew it would be right up my niece's alley because she loves both of those things. So yeah, I'm so excited. Her birthday is this weekend. I'll be going into Baltimore for it, so I gotta go ahead and get it wrapped. But for now, I gotta go get writing.
Let's see, we had a couple people talking about not being sure about who their antagonist was. One mentioned not feeling like they had an antagonist because they were writing a romance, and one just feeling like they hadn't plotted enough yet to have an antagonist. So I was wondering, what are y'all's tips for coming up with some sort of antagonist regardless of what you're writing?
Well, the antagonist is not necessarily a person, right? It's anything that's like preventing the characters from, and that's I think about this a lot in terms of romance, because sometimes I will read these pitches for romance books or whatever, and I won't see a clear sense of conflict, right? So as a romance writer, you have these two characters and you know they're perfect for each other. So that's one of I think the hard things about writing romance is you have to figure out okay, how am I going to keep these two people who are perfect for each other apart for the duration of the book, right? How am I going to make it compelling? So once you can answer that question, then I think you know what your antagonist or antagonistic forces are.
Yeah, and if it's like something that is not a romance, that's a great answer. I was literally going to say that. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, you know, a snidely whiplash, mustache twirling guy. If it's going to be like something that's in the way of your romance novel characters getting together. But if you can't figure out what you want to do for like almost any other genre, what I'd love to do for fantasy is just like, if I don't have a clear bad guy yet, picking whatever it is that my main good guy wants and making up a villain that wants the opposite of what they want. So inevitably they're going to clash.
We had a question from Valentina Steiner. How obvious should the antagonist be?
It's not the obvious at all. My antagonist is very non-obvious until like towards the end, because there's a big plot twist. So it could be, you know, completely a red herring, or it can be super obvious snidely whiplash if you want.
Yeah. It's kind of whatever works for the story that you're trying to tell. Mine, the antagonist, is just like a bunch of spooky trees. So it's like, it's gotta be kind of, even, I guess.
Best type of antagonist.
Yeah.
Angry forest.
Yeah. Death. The ultimate antagonist in all horror.
Hello. I am wrapping up my week 1 vlog for 2019 NaNoWriMo. About to go ahead and join this little lady in bed, I think. So it's been an interesting week. I think I've struggled more than I have in the past just to stay on word count, but I am there, if barely. We're having some interesting conversations in the BookTube Voxer group about the nature of NaNoWriMo and of writing, and if this whole pushing to 1667 a day goal is tenable for people and their writing habits. I think I can do it, but I am a rebel that I'm not just doing my fiction novel. When it comes to A Song of the Wanderers, I think I'm struggling the most with the fact that there's so much world building involved, and I'm still second guessing myself on a lot of that. Then again, I guess I can just go freestyle in my scenes and try to imagine all sorts of crazy sights and sounds. It's a good way to get words, I guess. We'll see how it pushes through to next week and beyond. In the meantime, everyone, thanks so much for sticking with me, and keep writing. I'll see you next time.